Hello, and thank you for tuning in. You are tuned in to Esoteric Guidance, and my name is Nehru. We are moving into our next hidden canonical text, if you will, and that's the testaments of the 12 patriarchs. Excuse me. I was going to say tribes. And so I want to, well, first of all, thank you, new subscribers. As I was saying in the video before it abruptly cut off, I was 3 or 4 minutes into the video and it decided to cut off a moment ago. To our new subscribers, I don't always get notifications of your name specifically of who you are. Some people are probably thankful for that. Mainly the karmic individuals who are on this channel really to just be nosy and see, you know, what I'm up to. Those individuals who I've left in the past, in past life, in that past life that lasted 49 years and some months, that cycle has just been closed out and I've been freed entirely. And I've had a dream recently that confirmed that. I also released 17 friends that I've known for 32 years. And so with that, and these were people that I considered brothers and sisters, but I got confirmation once I released them. I got a text message of something that I was not even aware of that confirmed that I made the right choice. Okay, and so I want to encourage you, when highest divine white light, when your gut feeling, because that is highest divine white light in you, that is the voice within you, that is the God within you. Okay, that gut feeling. Okay, when you say I knew that's the gut feeling, you need to follow that. Okay, it's always going to do well for you. And so when you've even heard me refer to, those of you who have been part of the channel for any length of time, you've heard me refer to these individuals as my brother, sister, best friend, close friend. I had to let them go. Okay. Also, by the way, if they're listening to this, I've done some due diligence, and it'd be interesting to see. So I came across the specific name, Emozilia Johnson. Emozilia Johnson. M-O-Z-L-I-A, I believe. Middle initial B, last name Johnson. Okay? All right? If any of them listen to the channel, I dare you to reach out to me and tell me who that individual is. That's an alias for someone or something. Okay? So I dare you to reach out to me and tell me who that is. Scott, Amy, Alyssa. Okay? All right. And so we're going to continue on. I'm not going to let that sidetrack me. All right, it was 3:33 when I said that. And we're going to continue on, right? Because I am, as you are, hopefully being the demonstration that you desire to see. So you're being the change that you desire to see on this planet. Okay? And that's what I'm doing. Okay? With all the spiritual gifts, lifetimes that I've lived here, that's what I'm doing. So let's get going. Let's find out who the 12 patriarchs are. And let's take a look at their writings and what they have to share with us, okay, and what they've garnered and gathered through their journeys, esoterically and earthly. Okay, so the 12 patriarchs are Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulon, Joseph, and Benjamin. Okay, these are the 12 patriarchs that we are about to read about here today. Okay, and again, I never read ahead. I always share and learn or what have you, or am reminded as you are. Okay, with these sharings, I don't read ahead to know what's coming or what it's about or anything like that. Okay, so let's get going. So the copy of the testament, new subscribers. So I did get notification of 2 new subscribers, Anthony and Andreas. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. Hopefully you are not karmic energies and you are really truly seeking your highest, purest, truest form, and that is the reason why you became a part of the channel. Also, by the way, today I have not. I'm already a very slender, lean person. Okay, my waist is probably and this is not bragging. It's not I don't know. I could certainly carry some more weight, but my waist is probably a 29 right now or something. Okay, and that's important. But anyway, not much of an appetite today, and typically I only eat to live. I eat to maintain this physical body that I'm in. I don't live to eat. You know what I mean? I eat to live. So yeah, okay. And I've noticed over time, over the years, my body does that. It adjusts to the environment. Even when I was in the military, when we would be, out in the field for 30, 45 days at a time, my body automatically went into like some kind of some other type of mode, as opposed to when you're just back in garrison and you're sleeping at the house and all that sort of thing every day. Okay, so my body just does that. And again, I mention all of these things. Anything that I mention when I press record might be significant for you and your journey as well. Okay, including any of the names that are mentioned, any of the dates that we see here, anything that we see in here. Please pay attention to the synchronicities and accordingly for your own life, this lifetime. Okay, and it might help you to recollect some past life events. So the copy of the testament of Reuben. What things he charged his sons before he died in the 125th year of his life. When he was sick 2 years after the death of Joseph, his sons and his sons' sons were gathered together to visit him. And he said to them, "My children, I am dying, and go the way of my fathers." And when he saw there Judah and Gad and Asher his brethren, he said to them, "Raise me up, my brethren, that I may tell to you, my brethren, and to my children, what things I have hidden in my heart, for from henceforth my strength fails me." And he arose and kissed them and said, weeping, "Hear, my brethren, give ear to Reuben your father, what things I command you. And behold, I call to witness against you to this day the God of heaven, that you walk not in the ignorance of youth or fornication, wherein I ran greedily." So he's repenting to his sons. And I defiled the bed of Jacob. So again, there's another name in addition to the 12, so Jacob might be important to your story today. "My father, for I tell you that he smote me with a sore plague in my loins for 7 months. Okay, that's an STD. "And had not Jacob our father prayed for me to the Lord, surely the Lord would have destroyed me. For I was 30 years old when I did this evil in the sight of the Lord." Yeshua was 30 years old, as we are led to believe, when his official ministry started. That's not true, but that's what we're led to believe. If you go back and look at the infancy of Yeshua, or infancy of Jesus, that's not his name, but if you go back and look at that, it is on this channel. If you go back and look at that, you will see that Yeshua came out speaking to Mother Mary. Okay, he came out, he was birthed talking. Okay, and so his ministry didn't start when he was 30. It started at conception. Okay, For I was 30 years old when I did this evil in the sight of the Lord, and for 7 months I was sick even unto death. And I repented for 7 years in the set purpose of my soul before the Lord. Wine and strong drink I drank not. The set purpose of my soul before the Lord. And I repented for 7 years. 7 years in the set purpose of my soul before the Lord. Wine and strong drink I drank not, and flesh entered not into my mouth. So he did not eat any meat. And I tasted not pleasant food, mourning over my sin, for it was great. Okay, so there's something about a 7 year cycle. Okay, my 7 years goes back to my kidney transplant on 7/7 of 17. 2 days ago, I celebrated my 7th year. Okay, that transplant cycle, whatever that was, whatever caused it, it was witchcraft. But whatever the source of the witchcraft, so whoever was doing the witchcraft, all of that has come to an end. Okay, I started dialysis 11 years ago. Okay, I started dialysis in 2013, on February 15th of 2013. That happened to be the woman who I took to prom. That happens to be her birth date. Okay, her name is Carrie. Okay, and her last name is Fong, F-O-N-G. She passed in 2017. And when she was 19, I had just gone into the military, and she was diagnosed with, no, she was 21. She was diagnosed with something dealing with her liver, I believe. Yes, something dealing with her liver. Okay, and she had to use this bag. I'm not a medical professional, right? I jokingly call myself an unlicensed nephrologist only because I know so much about the kidney, having gone through that process. But I'm not a licensed doctor. Okay, so whatever I say, don't take advice from me. I don't take my rejection meds today. I don't advise you do that. Okay, that's my faith. Okay, and that's my guidance. Okay, so I take nothing today for that kidney transplant. Nothing to keep it alive, nothing to sustain it. Highest divine white light sustains that in me, that blood filter. Okay, that's just where I am. All right. So again, don't do what I do as far as your physical body is concerned unless you know for certain that highest divine white light has guided you to do so. Okay. All right, so there's something about a 7 year something. I am ending that 7 year plague or whatever that is, okay, that was sent upon this physical body. And now hear me, my children, what things I saw in my repentance concerning the 7 spirits of error. 7 spirits are given against man from Beliar, and that's B-E-L-I-A-R. I know someone whose last name is Bellar, B-E-L-L-A-R. Perhaps that's, again, significant for you. Their first name is Jordan, okay? And they are chief of the works of youth, and 7 spirits are given to him at his creation. By the way, she has an autistic son. He's probably 19 now, 20, something. And they are chief of the works of youth, and 7 spirits are given to him at his creation, that in them should be done every work of man. The first spirit is of life, with which man's whole being is created. The second spirit is of sight, with which arises desire. The third spirit is of hearing, which comes teaching. The fourth spirit is of smelling, with which taste is given to draw air and breathe. That is the pneuma, okay? P-N-E-U-M-A. That is the pneuma of highest divine white light, okay, that you breathe in and out. Earthly man calls it oxygen. That is the pneuma of highest divine white light. If you take that pneuma away from you, the body dies. So sinner or saint, walking this planet, they are breathing that pneuma. Okay? The fifth spirit is of speech, which comes knowledge, with which comes knowledge. The sixth spirit is of taste, with which comes the eating of meats and drinks, and by them strength is produced, for in food is the foundation of strength for the physical body. It doesn't say for the physical body, but it's for the physical body. The spiritual body doesn't need physical food, okay? Highest divine white light doesn't need your money. That's why all the sorry asses on TV begging you to give them money for jets and bullshit. That's why they need to be cursed, you know, and I can't wait for the fall of all of them. And it's from every last one of them. Everybody who's ever spoke a lie, everybody who's ever deceived, people who are wearing cloaks in front of your face on TV, whether it's Oprah, Copeland, Creflo Dollar, Joel Osteen, Joyce Myers, it doesn't matter who they are. I look forward to the day when all those towers come falling down. Okay? The seventh spirit is of begetting and sexual intercourse, with which through love of pleasure, sin also enters in. Okay, we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, we're talking about the Nephilim, we're talking about all of that. The fallen Anunnaki, okay? Wherefore, it is the last in order of creation, and the first of youth, because it is filled with ignorance. Because it is filled with ignorance, which leads the young as a blind man to a pit, and as cattle to a precipice. I'm sure that's not how you say that word. Okay? It's interesting that it sounds close to precipice, which is the edge. Precipice is standing at the cliff, right? At the edge. Right? Besides all these, there is an eighth spirit of sleep, with which is created entrancement of man's nature and the image of death. With these spirits are mingled the spirits of error, the first. Okay, so there are seven spirits here. Okay, original spirits, by which every work of man is done. Okay, then there are the spirits of error. Okay, and so the first, the spirit of fornication, dwells in the nature and in the senses. So we're talking about the sacral chakra. The second spirit of insatiateness. I'm definitely not saying that word correctly. This word. Insatiateness. In the belly. The third, the spirit of fighting in the liver and the gallbladder. Okay? The fourth is the spirit of fawning and trickery, that through over officiousness a man may be fair in seeming. The fifth is the spirit of arrogance, that a man may be stirred up and become high-minded. Speaking of the individuals that I just named. The sixth is the spirit of lying, in the perdition and in jealousy, to feign words, and to conceal words from kindred and friends. The seventh is the spirit of injustice, with which are theft and pilferings, that a man may work the desire of his heart. For injustice works together with the other spirits by means of craft, and that is witchcraft. That's what that craft is, witchcraft. Okay? Besides all these, the spirit of sleep, the eighth spirit, is conjoined with error and fantasy. Okay? So we're talking about dreaming and things, right? Imagination. And so perishes every young man, darkening his mind from the truth, and not understanding the law of God, nor obeying the admonitions of his fathers, and befell me also in my youth. Okay? So Reuben is talking about all of the revelations that he's received about the forefathers that came before him, or I said forefathers, I didn't mean to say forefathers, but the fathers that came before him. Okay, so the antediluvian patriarchs, again, we're talking about Methuselah, Enoch, Seth. Okay, these are the antediluvian patriarchs. Okay, so forsaking their teachings, forsaking the wisdoms that Enoch has shared with us, is the reason why Reuben had fallen in his youth. Okay, as many do. Okay, and again, I definitely have gone through my karmic cycle this past time. So let me share a little bit about my karmic choosings this lifetime. So I've gotten a DUI. I got that DUI during a year and a half when I was on a quote-unquote sabbatical from Highest Divine White Light. I had just gotten out of the military, finished up 8 years in the military, and I thought I was going to be going into what I had told my first sergeant and my command sergeant major and all that. They were, Sergeant Thomas, why are you getting out? And you should stay in. You're a great leader. You're a great blah, 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 right? But my heart was changing, okay? And so I knew it was time to get out. I knew it was time to stop all the reveling and all the whatevers and living wild and free, which I did for the majority of my military career, especially after the woman that I was married to left me for my father, okay, for the sperm donor. His name is Kevin, okay? He's serving 40 to 66 years in a Michigan prison if he's not dead today. Again, I don't know what his status is, all right? I haven't talked to him in 20 years, 21 years, okay? So, she left me, he's a polygamist, right? And will steal women from man for decades. He did this, okay? So he did it to his eldest son. Again, I'm the eldest of 17. So he did it to me when I went to Germany in 1998. He and his women decided to coerce my then wife, whose name is Martise, okay? Coerce her into being a part of that, and perhaps that was his plan all along, okay? And so getting out of the military, it was a challenge for me because, again, I'm a spiritual warrior, and that spiritual warrior translated into being an earthly soldier also, right? Just like when I was a kid, okay, the fierceness within me I was not shown how to control it, okay? I was just told don't do certain things, and mainly those things were don't fight, okay? So for the first 11 years I grew up in the projects, and then almost for the same equal time I spent with Kevin, moving from house to house to house as he was trying to hide his polygamous whatever, right? So, and from place to place, city to city, and state to state, right? So I went on my 1.5-year sabbatical, and during that time, I got a DUI. Okay, so that's one karmic choice. Okay, when I was with, there were issues from the beginning, and ironically, when I was with Martise, and I've been married twice, both of those marriages lasted less than 3 years, and there were all kind of difficulties that I could not even begin to understand back then, because again, I also, even though I was unconditionally loving then, and I was very spiritually unaware at that time. Okay? All right. And so, yeah, very much so. I did not start to awaken probably until my 7th year in the military. Okay? I started to be spiritually awakened to some things. Okay? And again, this is long after my wife Martise had went with him and all of that. Until this day, I have not talked to her. I have not anything. And again, this is 1998. Like, my last conversation with her was probably 2003. Okay? And so, again, I share my journeys with you so that you can see where I've come from in this earthly place, despite whatever lessons and whoever I've been in the past lifetimes and all of that sort of thing. Coming into this lifetime, into a current lifetime, you still have to unlock those Akashic records. You still have to unlock those books of life. Okay? And again, this is what Ruben is speaking of here. To not ignore those things. Okay? So where are we at here? And now, children, let me try to get all of this in the screen. And now, children, love the truth, and it shall preserve you. I counsel you, hear ye Reuben your father, pay no heed to the sight of a woman, nor yet associate privately with a female under the authority of a husband. Confirmation, Bert. Don't be going around, do not covet thy neighbor's wife or husband, is exactly what he's saying here. Don't be looking at your neighbors talking about, ooh, look at her, look at him, okay? People do that all the time. And it's so common today, right? And you think about celebrities, people are like, they're married to somebody else and people are gawking over them. That's incorrect. Even that is incorrect. Yes, even that is incorrect. The whole look but don't touch. What's wrong with what window shop, whatever they call that? No. Okay? Nor meddle with affairs of womankind. For I had not seen Bilhah bathing, for had I not seen Bilhah bathing in a covered place, I had not fallen into this great iniquity. For my mind, dwelling on the woman's nakedness, suffered me not to sleep until I had done the abominable deed. For while Jacob our father was absent with Isaac his father, when we were in Gader, G-A-D-E-R, Gader, near to Ephrathah, I was going to say Ethiopia, in Bethlehem, Bilhah was drunk, so the woman was drunk, and lay asleep uncovered in her chamber. And when I went in and beheld her, and lay asleep and beheld her nakedness, I wrought the impiety, I don't know why it's difficult for me to say these words, and leaving her sleeping, I departed. And immediately an angel of God revealed to my father Jacob concerning my impiety. And he came and mourned over me and touched her no more. Verse 4. Pay no heed, therefore, to the beauty of women, and muse not upon their doings, but walk in singleness of heart in the fear of the Lord, and be laboring in works, and roaming in study, and among your flocks, until the Lord give you a wife whom he will, that you suffer not as I did. Okay, so I am on my third stint of celibacy. Okay, third multiple year of celibacy. Okay, we are on 2 years now of celibacy and counting. Okay, my first 2 celibacy stints each lasted 3 years. Okay, so until my father's death, I had not boldness to look steadfastly into the face of Jacob, or to speak to any of my brethren, because of my reproach, and even until now my conscience afflicts me by reason of my sin. And I wonder if David went through the same thing with Bathsheba. Was he tormented for the rest of his days with that choice? And my father comforted me, for he prayed for me unto the Lord, that the anger of the Lord might pass away from me, even as the Lord showed me. For from henceforth then I was protected, and I sinned not. Therefore, my children, observe all things, whatsoever I command you, and you shall not sin. For fornication is the destruction of the soul. So the protection of your sacral chakra is vital to your ascensions, vital to your spiritual growth, vital for you living your highest, purest, truest life here. If you are not interested in that, please unsubscribe to this channel. Okay? Okay. Therefore, my children, observe all the things whatsoever I command you, and ye shall not sin. For fornication is the destruction of the soul, separating it from God and bringing it near to idols, because it deceives the mind and understanding, and brings down young men into hell before their time. So, fornication, sexual misdoings, ends natural lives before their time. So there is a such thing as dying before your time. Okay? Your Akashic records might say you were meant to live to be 120, but guess what? If you fuck around, and that means literally, if you fuck around too much, you might live to be 50. Okay? So fuck around and find out. Pun intended. Okay? Father comforted me. These are long verses. That's why I keep losing my place. I was protected, and I sinned not. Therefore, my children, observe all the things whatsoever I command you, and ye shall not sin. For fornication is the destruction of the soul. Yep, we read that. For many has fornication destroyed, because though a man be old or noble, it makes him a reproach and a laughing stock with Beliar and the sons of men. For in that Joseph kept himself from every woman and purged his thoughts from all fornication, he found favor before the Lord and men. For the Egyptian woman did many things unto him, and called for magicians, and offered him love potions. Sounds familiar, huh? So love spells, okay? And the purpose of his soul admitted no evil desire. Therefore the God of his fathers delivered him from every visible and hidden death. I've been protected from some witchcraft, love spells, evil eyes, beauty spells. I've been protected from some of those things. Hopefully you can say that as well, or you know that. For if fornication overcome not the mind, neither shall Beliar overcome you. Hurtful are women, my children, because since they have no power or strength over the man, they act subtly through outward guise, how they may draw him to themselves, and whom they cannot overcome by strength, him they overcome by craft. Again, witchcraft. For moreover, the angel of God told me concerning them, and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication more than men. So women, the tradition, at least here in the U.S., probably globally, is that men are dogs. Well, women are hoes and bitches. Okay? Plain and simple. Okay? Because there is no way that you can have one without the other. Okay? The majority of the world, even today, even as putrid of an acceptance as it is for Sodom and Gomorrah and clit to clit and dick in his ass, as widely accepted as that is, still today there are more people who are heterosexual than homosexual. Okay? So it is impossible for the man to be a dog without the woman being the hoe. You get that equation? It's impossible for the man to be a dog without the woman being a hoe or a slut or a bitch. It's impossible. It's impossible. The man can't be a pimp without the woman being the prostitute. For moreover, the angel of God told me concerning more than men, and they devise in their heart against man, and by means of their adornment they deceive their first minds, and instill the poison by the glance of their eye. Watch out for the deceiving looking smile in the eyes, the glimmer shimmering in the eyes. All that glitter isn't gold. In fact, most that glitters is not. Okay? There's only one thing that glitters is gold, and that's gold. That's the only thing that glitters that's gold is gold. Anything else that glitters isn't gold. Okay? All right? And then they take them captive by their doings, for a woman cannot overcome a man by force. Okay? Can't do it. Women like to believe that they are as strong as we are. They are strong as we are, though they can be spiritually. But physically, there is no match. There is no match. Okay? None. Right? It's just not meant to be that way. Again, equal, but very different roles. That's why man was commanded to till the ground, not woman. Because man has the strength in the back to till the ground. Woman does not. Woman has the loins to give birth, and that is, at its basic core, right, what highest divine white light was saying. Man's back is strong enough to till the ground. Woman's loins is strong enough to carry a child. And that's how we're going to do this. Did I scroll up too far? Okay. Therefore, flee fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and their faces, because every woman who acts deceitfully in these things has been reserved to everything punishment. For thus they allured the watchers. Now we know about the watchers. Again, we covered that in the book of Enoch. Okay, the watchers. We allured the watchers before the flood, and as these continuously beheld them, they fell into desire each of the other. And they conceived the act in their mind and changed themselves into the shape of men. Again, talking about the Nephilim. Okay? And appeared to them in their congress with their husbands and the woman or women, having in their minds desire towards their apparitions, gave birth to giants. See? Gave birth to giants, for the watchers appeared to them as reaching even unto heaven. Beware, therefore, of fornication, and if you wish to be pure in your mind, guard your senses against every woman, and command them likewise not to company with men, that they also be pure in their mind. For constant meetings, even though the ungodly deed be not wrought, are to them an irremediable disease. So an incurable disease. Okay? Again, STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, spiritually transmitted demons, or spiritually transmitted disease. And to us, an everlasting reproach of Beliar. And for fornication has neither understanding nor godliness in itself, and all jealousy dwells in the desire thereof. So jealousy stems from fornication. Therefore, you will be jealous against the sons of Levi, and that name might be important, and will seek to be exalted over them, but you shall not be able, for God will work with their avenging, and you shall die by an evil death. For to Levi the Lord gave the sovereignty, and to Judah, and to me also with them, and to Dan and Joseph, and we should be for rulers. Therefore I command you to hearken to Levi, because he shall know the law of the Lord. Okay? The Levi that I know is a very special child. Okay? Levi's probably 9 or 10 now. Okay? Because he shall know the law of the Lord, and shall give ordinances for judgment and sacrifice for all Israel unto the completion of the times of Christ, the high priest, whom the Lord has declared. I adjure you by the Lord, by the God of heaven, to work with truth, each one with his neighbor, and draw near to Levi in humbleness of heart, that you may receive a blessing from his mouth. For he shall bless Israel, and especially Judah, because him has the Lord chosen to rule over all the peoples. And worship we his seed, because he shall die for us in wars, visible and invisible. So there are invisible wars taking place in the 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, right? Not the 5D, okay? And the 4D, 6D, 7D, 8D, however it goes, okay? Because he shall die for us in his wars, visible and invisible, and shall be among you an everlasting king. And Reuben died after that he had given command to his sons, and they placed him in a coffin until they bore him up from Egypt and buried him in Hebron in the double cave where his fathers were. Okay? And so I think we will go ahead and stop here. The next we will be looking at the testament of Simeon concerning envy. Okay? So thank you so much as always for tuning in. Again, I share these things with us again and with my higher self to help us become our highest, purest, truest version of ourselves and for us to see the truth. Okay? It is vitally important that we see the truth and not what man's, again, the word cloak, not the cloak that man has deceivingly placed in front of our eyes for eons. This is why this is not between Genesis and Revelation. This is why. This is why. All right? So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name's Nehru. I'm having confirmation burps. My name is Nehru. You've been tuned into Esoteric Guidance. I am a Master Builder 33, born on the 333rd day of the year. I continue to put my previous lives together. So Egyptian shamanic is my bloodline. Also, I've been Greco-Roman and Celtic, highly associated and connected with Helena Blavatsky, highly connected to Saint Germain, and I am a descendant of Yeshua. Okay? And again, I don't share these things with you to brag. You heard about, I can tell you other stories about women that I've been involved with intimately that I never should have been. I can tell you about dreams where highest divine white light showed me women who were coming to me. Some of those women, I did not follow his guidance, and some of those women I did. Okay, but I was warned in many cases about the women who were going to be coming towards me. Okay, some I were not. Some I wasn't meant to be warned about because some I was sent to awaken. You are sent into lives to awaken them. I show up for 3 reasons: to expose, heal, or I show up as karma. Those are the only 3 reasons I show up in someone's life. When that time and purpose has done, I remove myself from their energy and I take back my energy. Whether they heal, realize what I'm there for in their lives or not, I take back my energy and I move on to whatever the next mission is. Okay? Again, recognizing why you're here and the purpose for which you're here. It's not to get a good education, get a job, white picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog. I said it yesterday. That is the very lowest energy that you can function in if you think that's the reason why you're here, is to get a good job and get a pension and retire. That is the lowest programming of the Anunnaki. That is the lowest programming of the Illuminati. That is the lowest programming of secret society, is to keep you dumbed down in that program so that you never fully recognize who you are. Thank you so much again for tuning in. New subscribers, thank you so much. Again, I don't get all of your names. I don't always get a notification. I just see the subscriber number go up. Okay, but thank you for your love. Thank you for coming back to the channel. I know that what I share isn't easy. It isn't easy to hear. It isn't easy to digest. And truthfully, although it is for everyone, not everyone is accepting of it. 49 minutes exactly on the timer. That's my current physical age. Okay, so again, tune in next time when we cover the testimony of Simeon concerning envy. Right, and as always, stay encouraged.